The silent treatment is far more than a mere lack of conversation between two people. It is a profound neurological assault that mirrors the visceral sensation of a physical injury. When a partner withdraws, the brain's pain centers ignite with a sudden, sharp intensity. The mind treats social rejection with the same severity as a broken or fractured bone. This behavior, often employed to punish or exert control, creates a toxic environment of anxiety. It leaves the victim feeling diminished, eroding their self-worth with every passing hour of silence. As research by Kipling-Williams suggests, this tactic is alarmingly common in modern romantic relationships. Yet, its impact on long-term relationship satisfaction remains absolutely devastating for both parties involved. Victims often spiral into a dark cycle of constant rumination and feelings of utter helplessness. They find themselves desperately seeking ways to bridge the widening gap between their two hearts. Understanding that this pain is biological rather than a sign of personal weakness is vital. It represents the first crucial step toward reclaiming one's autonomy from the cycle of abuse. By recognizing the silent treatment as a deliberate, often controlling mechanism, the victim gains clarity. They begin to detach their fragile self-esteem from the aggressor's cold refusal to engage. The focus shifts away from the other person's behavior toward their own internal emotional stability. This internal shift is necessary to prevent the erosion of the self during the conflict. The silence is not a void, but a weapon forged in the fires of manipulation. To survive it, one must learn to view the quiet not as a personal failure. The brain screams for connection, yet the partner offers only a wall of impenetrable stone. This physiological reaction is a remnant of our evolutionary need for social belonging and safety. When that safety is revoked, the nervous system enters a state of high, frantic alert. The victim searches for clues, analyzing every past interaction for a hint of the cause. This search is futile, as the silence is designed to keep the victim guessing constantly. It is a game of power where the rules are kept hidden from the target. By naming the tactic, the victim strips away the mysterious power that the silence holds. They realize that the silence is not a reflection of their own inherent value today. Instead, it is a reflection of the aggressor's inability to communicate in a healthy way. This realization acts as a shield, protecting the mind from the worst of the impact. The path forward requires a steady hand and a heart that refuses to be broken. Reclaiming one's autonomy means choosing to stand tall even when the world goes completely quiet. Now, you must pivot toward 4 evidence-based steps to protect your own mental well-being. First, resist the urge to chase or beg for a response from your partner. Instead, cultivate deep self-compassion, focusing entirely on what serves your own internal peace. Ask yourself what is in your best interest, rather than how to end their silence. Second, name the behavior out loud to yourself to break the psychological grip it holds. Labeling it as a control tactic helps you detach from the emotional weight of rejection. Third, actively interrupt the cycle of rumination that keeps you trapped in the conflict. If you are the one withholding, choose to use your words instead of weaponized silence. Fourth, set a firm boundary with a calm, direct statement to protect your nervous system. Tell them you are available to talk when they are ready, then stop asking entirely. This signals that silence will not produce the desired outcome of control or punishment. Holding this boundary is essential for your long-term emotional health and personal recovery. It demonstrates that you are no longer a passive participant in their game of manipulation. When silence is eventually followed by constructive dialogue, it can sometimes facilitate genuine relationship growth. However, when it remains unresolved, it consolidates disconnection and breeds chronic, deep-seated dissatisfaction. Silence without repair is not a pause. It is damage accumulating within the relationship. You must prioritize your own stability over the need for an immediate, forced resolution. The brain eventually learns to stop seeking validation from a source that provides only pain. By stepping back, you regain the power that was stripped away by the silent treatment. This process is not about winning the argument, but about preserving your own sanity. The silence may persist, but your internal response to it will be fundamentally transformed. You are no longer a victim of the quiet, but an observer of the behavior. This distance provides the perspective needed to evaluate the relationship with true, objective clarity. Do not let the absence of sound dictate your worth or your emotional state. Your value remains constant, regardless of whether your partner chooses to speak or remain. Hold your ground with quiet dignity, knowing you have done what is necessary for yourself. The cycle of emotional abuse requires two people to keep it spinning in motion. By refusing to chase, you effectively stop the engine of that destructive, painful cycle. Stay calm, stay grounded, and trust that your well-being is the ultimate priority now. You are capable of navigating this silence and emerging with your sense of self intact. As the victim begins to detach their self-esteem, they must shift from frantic pursuit to firm boundary setting. Breaking the cycle of the silent treatment requires a fundamental shift in how one approaches the partner. Instead of begging for a response, the target must name the behavior aloud with calm, steady resolve. Labeling the silence as a control tactic is essential to strip away its deep psychological power immediately. This act of naming serves as a vital anchor, preventing the victim from spiraling into chronic rumination. It stops the mind from questioning its own worth or searching for faults that do not exist. By delivering a calm, direct statement, the victim protects their nervous system from further, unnecessary emotional damage. One might express availability for future dialogue while firmly refusing to chase the partner through the void. This clear signal demonstrates that silence will no longer function as a tool for manipulation or control. The aggressor quickly learns that their refusal to speak no longer triggers the desired reaction of panic. While constructive dialogue can occasionally lead to growth, unresolved silence is merely the accumulation of emotional damage. It is a heavy, suffocating weight that serves only to erode the foundation of a healthy, shared life. Ultimately, the goal is to prioritize personal well-being over the desperate need to force a sudden resolution. One must ensure that their mental health remains intact, regardless of the other party's choice to remain. Choosing to remain silent is a decision the aggressor makes, but it is not your burden alone. By stepping back, you reclaim the space that was once occupied by anxiety and the fear of. You create a sanctuary where your own needs are finally prioritized over the whims of another person. This process is not about winning an argument, but about preserving the integrity of your own soul. When you stop chasing, you allow the silence to exist without letting it define your internal reality. The silence becomes a wall, but you are no longer trapped on the wrong side of it. You stand on firm ground, watching the patterns of the relationship with a newfound, objective, clear perspective. It is a quiet revolution of the self, where dignity is reclaimed through the power of boundaries. You learn that your worth is not contingent upon the words or the validation of another person. The cycle is broken not by the other person changing, but by your refusal to participate further. You move forward with the knowledge that your peace is a treasure you must guard with care. The emotional storm may rage outside, but within your own mind, there is a calm, steady light. This light guides you away from the toxic patterns that once threatened to consume your entire life. You are no longer a victim of the silence, but a guardian of your own emotional health. Each day becomes easier as you detach from the need for an immediate, external, or forced resolution. You find strength in the quiet, realizing that you are capable of standing tall on your own. The silence is no longer an assault, but a space for your own growth and quiet reflection. You have successfully navigated the architecture of emotional silence and emerged on the other side, stronger now. The path ahead is clear, illuminated by the wisdom gained from enduring the most difficult of trials. You walk forward with grace, knowing that you have reclaimed the power that was once stolen away. Your heart is resilient, and your mind is free from the chains of manipulation and constant doubt. This is the true meaning of autonomy, a gift you have given yourself through patience and courage. The relationship may change, but your commitment to yourself remains the most important promise you keep. You are the architect of your own happiness, building a life that is sturdy, calm, and whole. No amount of silence can diminish the light that you have cultivated within your own resilient spirit. You stand as a testament to the power of self-respect in the face of profound emotional adversity. The silence has lost its sting, and you have finally found the peace you were searching for. It is a quiet, profound victory that belongs entirely to you, earned through your own steady effort. You look back at the struggle, not with bitterness, but with a deep understanding of your strength. The lessons learned are etched into your character, making you more compassionate and more self-aware than before. You move into the future with a sense of purpose that is entirely your own to define. The silence is just a backdrop now, a distant echo of a time when you were lost. You have found your voice, and it is stronger than any silence the world could ever impose. Your journey continues, marked by the wisdom of knowing when to speak and when to remain. You are the master of your own emotional landscape, navigating it with confidence and a clear heart. The architecture of your life is now built on a foundation of truth, respect, and deep peace. You have transcended the pain, turning it into a source of enduring, quiet, and steady personal power. The silence is no longer a weapon, but a testament to your capacity for healing and growth. You are whole, you are capable, and you are finally, truly free from the cycle of doubt. The world opens up before you, a vast expanse of possibilities that you are ready to embrace. You carry your peace with you, a shield against the chaos that once threatened to overwhelm you. Every step you take is a declaration of your worth and your commitment to your own well-being. You have learned that the most important relationship is the one you maintain with your own self. The silence has been transformed, becoming a space for your own quiet, steady, and beautiful evolution. You are the author of your own story, writing a future that is bright, clear, and free. And in this newfound clarity, you find the strength to walk forward into a life of peace.